Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. I'm your host, Sasha Davis. And so tonight, I want to talk about self-care and how we as women like to overcomplicate the shit out of it. Okay? So, self-care, I have a funny way of thinking about it because I think now in society, when we say self-care, it's like, oh, I need to get my hair done or my nails done or a manicure. Wait, that's your nails. You need to get all of these fancy things done, right? And so we tend to overcomplicate it. And I think, like as women do, we overcomplicate, overanalyze, over-research, overthink everything in our lives. Like, why do we do that? Even our self-care, we overthink. It's like, oh, if I don't have the perfect diet, I don't have the perfect workout program, if I don't have this perfect brand of water, I cannot take care of myself. And that's my I can't take care of myself voice. I hope you like it. But what I'm trying to say here is, why do we overcomplicate it? And so I want to simplify it for you guys and kind of tell you what I do for self-care. And then maybe you can find some of what I do, a way to fit it into your life so that it can benefit you. Or maybe you share this with somebody who is overcomplicating self-care and you're like, hey, listen to this chick. She really simplifies self-care and how it can look and how it can be easy for everyday women like me and you. Okay? Like I'm not a millionaire. I mean, maybe someday. But like right now, like I don't do all of these elaborate things for self-care. Like I do very basic self-care, and I save up and I make it a point to do the elaborate self-care, just maybe not as often as I would like. But I do treat myself to a facial every once in a while. I do treat myself to a massage every once in a while, or a pedicure, or a manicure, or a spray tan, or whatever it is, right? But I have simple self-care that I do every single day. And that's it. It's simple, okay? So I'll give you like a once over of what a day in the life of Sasha looks like in terms of self-care. And then if you guys have questions, email me, support@sashadavis.com. If there's something that you want me to elaborate more on, or if there's something that you enjoyed that I said that you, I don't know, want to send me a thing that says, Sasha, I really enjoyed this. I love getting your emails. So let's get started. On a typical day, I get up about 5 or 5:30. Depending on the day, there's certain days that I have like early calls that I do for my own personal development, and which I'm not even going to get on that topic of people saying that they don't have enough time, because I get up at the butt crack of dawn every single day to make shit happen in my life. No excuses. No excuses. Okay, so this is my life. I get up, let's just say I get up at 5 a.m. Literally the first thing I do when I roll out of bed, I get up, I sit up in my bed, and I use the Mel Robbins rule, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I rocket launch myself out of bed. If I don't do this, I will hit snooze 8 million times until it is 7 o'clock in the morning and I am busting my ass to try to get out the door. So I 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 my ass up out of bed. I go to the bathroom. I pee. I go into the kitchen. I start the coffee. While the coffee's brewing, I chug water. Like I probably chug at least 12 ounces of water in the morning. And then I take my thyroid medication. And then I go and I sit down and I meditate. And now depending on what my mood is when I wake up, I meditate every single day for at least 5 minutes. Sometimes I do as much as 30 minutes. So let's just say, for the sake of keeping things simple, that I do 10 minutes of meditation, okay? And I set timers. And, sometimes in the morning, if my husband is up and getting ready, I will do a guided meditation with music so I can kind of drown out, my 5 dogs that are running around eating their breakfast and my husband in the shower and things like that. Or I try to find space outside or in my truck, somewhere where it's quiet. Then after my 10 minutes of meditation is up, I do my journaling. And this is so crucial for me. I have skipped journaling before. I've skipped meditation before. And I immediately can tell a difference. Like if I don't do these 2 things, I'm tense, I'm angry, I'm stressed, I'm snappy, I'm a smart ass, like not in a good way smart ass, like I'm just like sarcastic jerk all the time. So I make sure that I absolutely do my meditation and my journaling. And now journaling has become such a love for me. When I first started journaling, you guys, like I didn't even know what to write about. I'm like, what? Write Dear Diary? Dear Diary, my life sucks. Blah, 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 blah. Well, turns out journaling's nothing like that. So one of my mentors taught me how to brain dump. And, I speak to a lot of women where they're like, oh, my brain is just going a million miles a minute. I have all these thoughts. I have all these feelings. I have all these things I need to do around the house or in my life or in my children's life or for whoever. And so a brain dump or a personal inventory or however you want to call it, there's lots of things you can call it. You write all of these things down. Get them out of your head and onto a piece of paper. Write them all down until you cannot think of another thing that you must do. Write everything you need to do today, this week, this month, this year, the next 5 years, the next 10 years, your lifetime. Write it all down. Get it all out of your head. And then go through it and prioritize. And that's another thing that I teach inside the Badassery Mastery program that I have. I teach time management and I teach you how to filter through all these thoughts and figure out what needs to be done today, what needs to be done tomorrow, what needs to be done next month, and kind of help you manage your time in a way that works for you, that makes you feel good and accomplished. Okay, but that'll be a topic for another podcast. Okay, so after I journal, I do my brain dump, and then since I've found journaling so beneficial to me, I also write out my day. Like, I'm sure you have heard of affirmations or visualizations or like the law of attraction. I know I've talked about some of these things on this podcast before, but I write out how I want my day to look. I'm going to talk to this many people today. I'm going to do this for my business. This is what I'm going to do for my workout. This is what I'm going to do for eating. This is how I'm going to feel today. Today I'm going to feel awesome. Today I'm going to forgive whoever has wronged me in the past. Or, I'm going to write out literally everything that I'm going to do for that day and set myself up for success. Okay? And there's a quote, and I'm going to totally botch it, but it's like plan to fail or fail to plan or something like that. And if you don't plan out your day, like, are you even really trying? So at least that's my perception. Like, if I'm not setting my day up for success, I'm failing at my day. Like, I'm just kind of like zombie apocalypse walking through the day, banging into shit, not really knowing what I'm doing, and still feeling like squirrel brain, What I mean by squirrel brain is like you're focusing on one thing for 2 seconds, and then you get distracted and you're focusing on another thing, and then you focus on another thing, and then you focus on another thing, and then before you know it, you're like so overwhelmed that you're like, I'm just going to take a nap because I don't know what else to do. Okay, so let's recap. We're drinking water, we're taking our meds and our vitamins, we're meditating, we're journaling, on to the exercise. And I think exercise kind of, I don't know, scares people, or they're like, I'm not motivated, I'm unmotivated, or I'm lazy, or I've heard all of the excuses, all of them. And that's exactly what they are, excuses. And I've heard somebody refer to excuses as assholes. Everybody has one. Okay, so don't be an asshole, don't be an excuse. The other thing I like to tell myself is a body in motion stays in motion. It's like the law of inertia or something like that. So even if I only move my body for 10 minutes, I am moving my body. Okay? I'm stretching, I'm lifting, I'm burpees, I'm running, I'm yogaing, I'm whatever it is, I'm moving my body for at least 10 minutes, okay? A lot of times I like to work out for like 30 or 45 minutes. I took the summer off from CrossFit, but like when I did CrossFit, that's like a 45 minute to an hour long workout. And when I was in CrossFit, I would only stretch in the morning. So I would do like 10 minutes of stretching because I would always have like CrossFit at like 9 or noon. And so I didn't want to like do a 30-minute workout and then go do like a hardcore 45-minute workout. So, but again, for the sake of keeping it simple, move your body. Doesn't matter how it looks. It's different for everybody. I work with women who ride bicycles or do fitness programs at home, or girls that go balls to the wall at the gym, or girls that go for runs, or whatever it is, you know. And I like yoga, I like CrossFit, I like running, I like biking, I like kayaking, I like all the things. So, but you got to make sure that you're moving your body every day. Doesn't matter what it looks like, okay? And then the other things that I do is, and I typically do this when I'm in my shower, just to kind of, I don't know, I just found that it works for me. And so, you know, like I have this big vision board, and so I like to look at my vision board for a couple of minutes before I take a shower. May sound weird, I don't really care. So I'm like visualizing, I'm like, okay, this is what type of house I want. Okay, this is what type of client I want. Okay, this is what type of family life I want. Okay, this is how much money I want to make, and this is the vacations that I want to do, and this is the car that I want to drive, and this is, and I have all of these things on my vision board, and I am super specific on the things that I want. I'm not specific on the how, I'm specific on the what. Okay, and so I'm looking through it, and I'm like, okay, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Just like I'm ordering a pizza. You wouldn't walk into a pizza shop and we're like, hey, just give me whatever you have, I guess. Well, then you're going to get Canadian bacon pineapple pizza. And nobody likes Canadian bacon pineapple. Okay, well, maybe some people do. But I would be pretty pissed off if I walked in there and they gave me a Canadian bacon pizza pineapple. Or, oh gosh, you know what I'm trying to say here. So you have to be really specific. I want a deep dish, extra cheese, extra sauce, all the pepperoni, all the mushrooms, all the onions, whatever it is. You have to be really specific on what it is you want in life. This is with everything, you guys. And so I go through my vision board and I'm getting really specific. I'm like, okay, I want this, I want this. And I've looked at my vision board long enough, you know, I make one every year, that I pretty much have it memorized. But I have to look at it so that it like gets into my subconscious. And side note here, 75% of my vision board has already happened, you guys. And it's, the year's like halfway over. I still have half the year to only make up 25%. So I cannot imagine what is going to happen the rest of this year. I'm so excited. Anyways, so I look at my vision board. Like, okay, this is what I want. This is what I want. And then I do my affirmations. And then that's just kind of affirming what I want for the day, what type of person I am, and all of these things. And then I go head to the shower, and I think about that stuff, okay? I think about that stuff. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. And then afterwards, like when I'm getting ready, I like to listen to some sort of personal development. You know, so sometimes I do my visualization and affirmations, you know, a quick 2 minutes before I get in the shower too. And I just call that good. And then in the shower, you know, I listen to an audiobook or I listen to a podcast. I have tons of recommendations. Again, email me. I'll send you a list of all the things that has worked for me personally, or that I enjoy. But I always try to get in some sort of personal development, you know, 10, 15, 20 minutes, half hour. Just depends on how long it takes me to, you know, shit, shower, and shave and throw on some makeup and brush my hair. And then after that, I like to check in on my business stuff. So if I'm not doing, you know, so that's kind of like my self-care routine, you guys. And that's simple. Like that's just taking care of me before anybody else is awake in the house, like focusing on my time. Like it doesn't have to be elaborate. Like each and every one of you can do this. You can. Get up a little bit earlier. That's it. You know what? If you only have 5 minutes to meditate and 5 minutes to journal and 5 minutes to exercise and 5 minutes to visualize. Great. What's 5 times 4? That's 20 minutes. You have 20 minutes, you guys. You just have to make the time. Prioritize. You make time for what's important in your life. You know, like look at your past couple of weeks. Like, where have you been spending your time? Is that where you want to be spending it? If the answer is no, how are you going to change it? Okay. Nobody's going to change it for you. You got to figure out a way to make it happen. And what works for me is getting up at 5 a.m., getting this stuff done. Okay. So that's my basic morning routine, taking care of myself, setting my day up for success, making sure that I'm hydrated and all of these things to prepare for my day. Okay. And then like I have some time where I work on like my personal business stuff. Okay. You know, if I'm not coaching calls, I'm, you know, I don't know, recording podcasts, doing blogs, doing content, schedules, or, you know, there's just I don't have to go over all the things with you guys. If you're a business owner, you know all the things that you have to do. And if you're not a business owner, then email me if you're interested. Okay. So then I work on that for a while, and then it's time to wake up the baby. And she's not really a baby anymore, you guys. What's happening? So then I wake her up and we get her ready, and she has her breakfast and I have my breakfast, and we eat breakfast together, and I love every minute of it. Okay. And then throughout the day, you know, I'm either, again, to keep things simple, I'm either teaching at the barn, I'm working on coaching stuff, or I'm having like a personal day where I'm working on, you know, my own thing. Like the other day I went and I spent half the day at the beach, just in silence, because that's what my body needed. It needed sunshine, water, sand, and silence. So I created space. I found a way to just go sit with myself, and it was amazing. Okay. And then I get home and I do all the things, you know, as we women and wives and mothers do. But I'm very fortunate, and my husband helps with damn near everything. And you guys, your husbands are capable of help. Like, when you decide that you don't have to do everything and start asking for help, it's amazing. It's seriously amazing. Like, he probably cooks more than I do. And you know what? He's probably better at it than I am too. Oh, I hate to admit that, but he's never going to listen to this, so it doesn't matter. And then in the evening, you know, we have a pretty solid evening routine. You know, we have dinner. You know, me and the baby and the husband all have our family time till about 8 o'clock. And then my daughter takes her nightly bath, and then we do some reading and some rocking in the chair, and then she goes to bed. And then after she goes to bed, I do some gratitude journaling, which I told you guys I just absolutely love journaling. And I go over my day, and I'm like, okay, what went well today? What was the best thing that happened today? What am I grateful for? What am I so blessed to have? Okay. And if you're sitting there thinking, well, I have nothing to be grateful for, I want to remind you how you are listening to this podcast. Okay. Are you listening in your car? Obviously you're listening to it on your phone or your laptop. Okay. That in itself is a blessing. You should be grateful you have those things, that we have the technology to be able to communicate to one another via our phone or our laptop. You know, how did you get to work? Did somebody pick you up, drop you off? Or are you a stay-at-home mom? Like, how grateful, how blessed is that? You know, you have income, you have a roof over your head, you have food in your belly, the sun is shining, you're not in a fire zone, you're not in a flood zone, you're not, you know what I mean? Like, you have things to be grateful for, and it can be really simple. Like, I have a roof over my head, or I have a vehicle, I have a phone, I have a child, I have a pillow to lay my head on, I have a coffee maker that I actually get the privilege of drinking coffee every day. Like, good coffee. Okay? Like, you can be grateful for things if you really look for it. And when you start to really focus on gratitude, more good things come your way. I cannot stress this enough. But you cannot create abundance in your life from a lack mindset. And what I mean by lack is I don't have time. I don't have energy. There's not enough. Wah, 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 wah. Rephrase how you think about that stuff. Okay, you have time. You have energy. You have the tools and resources. Use them. Okay, get resourceful. I heard somebody the other day talking about how do drug addicts stay drug addicts. Okay, which is kind of maybe a shitty analogy, but really though, like they get resourceful. They do. They make shit happen. Okay? You can too. So then I do my gratitude journaling. And then I usually, wash my face, get all the makeup off, brush my teeth, floss. I've been really into flossing lately. Use my mouthwash, and then I get ready for bed. And then me and my husband try to have, 10 or 15 minutes of where we actually have a conversation about what happened throughout the day, where we're not at work, we're not working from home, we're not with the baby, or we're not on the phone or whatever. We have 15 minutes or so where we have our quiet time and tell each other about what really went on in our day. And sometimes we have deeper conversations, and it's pretty awesome, And then I've also taken up the habit, actually I've been doing this for quite a while, but I put my phone on airplane mode at night so that it's not distracting me. I don't know, I really want to get one of those daylight alarm clocks. This may sound silly, but I think they're so cool. So I want to get one. I've just been slacking on it. So I've been using my phone as an alarm clock, like I'm sure most people do, but I really don't like electronics in the room. I don't have any electronics in the room except for my phone. We don't have a TV, we don't have a radio, we don't have do people even use radios anymore? What's a radio? So yeah, I don't really like having my phone in the room, so I try to keep it away from me, but I also put it on airplane mode because and this is another thing that I'm working on, with boundaries on responding to people and checking, social media or emails or whatever, because I love, love, love working. You guys, I just can't get enough of it. It is my addiction. I love helping people. I love learning. I love teaching. And so I have to set limits and boundaries on myself so that I don't burn myself out, so that I am constantly giving you 100% of me. I have to set boundaries and rest and recover and replenish. And so a way that I do that is I set my phone on airplane mode. Okay. And then it's just okay, nobody can notify me until in the morning. And I suppose if, trauma happened, God forbid, then I would be notified in the morning. And that's okay, because sometimes there's really not much that you can do in the middle of the night. That sounds terrible, but that's my logic. So that is a recap of the day, or of a day in the life of Sasha. Self-care doesn't have to be complex. It can be simple. Drink half your body weight in ounces of water every day. Move your body every day, whether it's 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I suggest that you move your body for at least 30 minutes every single day. And another thing is, give yourself quiet time, guys. Give yourself timeouts. I know it sounds whatever it sounds, but I've noticed that throughout the day, if I'm I'm just getting so wound up, I literally have to remove myself from wherever I am and just breathe for 5 minutes, deep, calming, relaxing breaths, and repeat a mantra back to myself. Okay? Try it. It works. But I'm serious. If you start treating your body better, what type of food you're putting in your body, eat good foods, you guys. If you eat processed foods that are full of shit, guess what? You're going to feel like shit. Okay? So start eating healthier. If you don't know what healthy looks like, eat fruits and vegetables and all the things natural. Try to eat things in their most natural form. Keep it simple. Less ingredients, the better. Okay? Drink half your body weight in ounces of water every single day. So let's say you're 200 pounds. You need to drink 100 ounces of water a day. 100. Okay? Do it. Yes, you're going to pee a lot, but your skin's going to thank you. Your body's going to thank you. Your digestion system's going to thank you. You're going to actually be able to shit normal. It's an amazing feeling to be able to take a poop and not be constipated because you are hydrated. Okay? Take quiet time to sit with yourself. check in with yourself. Write it down. Brain dump. Get everything out on a paper and then organize it. Women love to organize and fix things. So write it on paper and do your thing. Buy a planner. Make shit happen in your life. Get up earlier. Oh, I usually go to bed by 10 o'clock at the latest. At the latest. Okay, I lied. There's some days I'm like up till 11 and then I'm like, what am I doing? I need to go to sleep. But I try to be in bed between 9 and 10. I know. I'm such a partier. Don't be jealous. But I got goals, people. I got goals. Nobody's going to do them but me. So I make sure that I go to bed at a decent time, I get up at a decent time, and I make shit happen, and I'm not burnt out, I'm not tired, I'm not stressed, I'm not angry, and I'm still moving forward every single day. I am the happiest, the healthiest, the most driven I have ever been in my entire damn life. And you can do the same thing. I'm preaching now. I'm preaching. But I'm serious. You can. You can do whatever you want. Don't let anybody tell you different. Even yourself. You are the one that needs to get out of your own way. Okay? All right, guys. I've been talking for a long time. I want to say, I appreciate every single one of you. Like, reading your comments, reading your posts. You guys, your feedback, your everything. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love all of it. Like, I'm doing this stuff for you guys. Like, I'm just saying what works for me in hopes that it works for you and that you can share it with somebody else, with your family, with your community, whoever. Okay. So if you enjoyed this podcast, I would love it if you would leave a 5-star review, kind of let me know your thoughts on the podcast and share with a friend. Okay. And I do want to tell you about the Badassery Mastery Program. It is a 6-month coaching program with yours truly, this lady right here, to get you out of your own way, to be the most confident version of yourself. Okay. I want you to be confident in your personal and your professional life, guys. I want you to be confident in everything that you do. Trust the inner you. Okay. That's what this program is about. We talk about self-care. We talk about time management. We talk about business. We talk about emotional intelligence. We talk about our family and our goals and our money and all of these things. You know, and I give you like the insider secrets on how I've built the business that I have and all of the things that I have done that you're like, wow, how does she do it? If you're in the program, all you got to do is ask, and I'd give you all the information. I give you guys a lot of information on here, but I give you even more inside the program. So if this is something that's interested you, like if you've been following me for a while and you're like, man, I think that this might be a good fit for me, I highly encourage you to go to sashadavis.com/apply now. Okay. Fill out the application. And I will read your application. Me, personally, I will read your application, okay? But I want it to be super detailed. Like, give me all the juicy tidbits. The more you tell me, the more I'm going to be able to tell you whether or not we are a good fit and if I can help you, okay? So fill out the application. Make it as detailed as possible. After I read it, we'll get on the phone, talk about our options. So again, that was sashadavis.com/apply now. Fill out the application, and we'll get on the phone and chat. All right, ladies. Until next time. Talk to you later.